what's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas, coming to you from Hall Pass Media, Newport Beach, this is Missin Curfew. Obes, the up dog, and the silky smooth Jay Swish. Fellas, how we doing? Recording on a Tuesday, jumping on a bird Thursday, drunk as a skunk Friday. Can't wait to get on the road with the fellas.
Things are good here, bud. I got, thanks to Kyle, who showed up with the Crosby jersey. I'm sporting the crew. I'm in for a good weekend here with you boys. I can't wait to get to Montreal. I can't wait to see some live best on best action. And the last time I think I saw best on best was when me and Schwizzy ended up in Pittsburgh at the little dance club there. Okay, moving and shaking, a little footwork on behalf of ourselves there, fella. So I'm excited to see you again, Schwishy.
I know, I can't wait. And shout out to cheerleaders, by the way, first and foremost. It has a dear place in my heart. But, we were playing a man down this past weekend at the Wasted Management. Updog, we missed you, fella. Especially rocking out to Nickelback, singing Rockstar. We could have used your energy, man, because you're always just buzzing like a no vacancy sign.
Yeah, he would have been buzzing that little back bar. That back bar is great. I mean, if there's a suggestion, cup, not that they care. They need more bathrooms back there. There's one like 3 pissers and just like one little outdoor porta potty for the guys. It was touch and go in there. And the one was out of commission, the one shitter. Whoever, hey, you know who you are out there. Whoever did that to that one shitter backstage in Nickelback, I hope you had some dude wipes on you, bro, because it was fucking disgusting. I opened the door, I was like, oh, God. Oh, God, it was bad.
One thing I did take from this, boys, online was that Nickelback, stole the show, right? I mean, we had a hole-in-one, we had some good golf, but, Nickelback just completely, everyone just said it was the best show of the week.
Yeah, who else played?
If that, I do not.
Yeah, I don't even know who else played.
Oh, Jelly Roll, Tiesto, Nickelback, and then the week before was Blake Shelton, which I saw, and Gwen Stefani.
Ooh, Gwen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So they played at 16 too, right?
I think Luke Bryan was there.
Luke Bryan also played.
Yeah,
My
Luke
boy Will Stelly was with Luke Bryan and said that was, I think that was Wednesday night, the Bird's Nest. So a little early.
I mean, those Thunderbird guys, they just all week of just fucking getting banged up. And I'm like, I think it's time for a new outfit for them. You know what I mean? I know it's an old school outfit, but I think it's time to, you can keep the same look, but to the fabric, we're going to get to Horty. I'm like, dude, that doesn't breathe well. He's got it all cut out here. Those guys are savages is what I'm saying. They're savages.
But it's like the green jacket. You can't change the green jacket now. You can't turn it purple or,
Yeah, but you can get better quality. I'm just saying, that breathes a little better for the Thunderbirds, my man. That's all I'm thinking.
Yeah, totally. I get it. All the chains. Did you happen to catch them on the day where they get to wear the wild pants?
No.
Okay. So,
no.
Well, one of those days they just put on crazy pants. Horty always wears the Canada ones.
Yeah, I think it's Wednesday because I was there. There was USA, Canada. There's some crazy ones. Guys had cheetah print on, but you go back to that fabric, and I'm a big fabric guy over here, boys. It's velour. So velour doesn't breathe, but it looks juicy. It just gets a little toasty out there like it was this past weekend. Oops. Yeah, you're going to be sweating through that, fella.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely notice them when what they're wearing, but I'm like, Horty, we got to get you maybe some Lululemon quality, khakis here for you, fella, But it was great. I mean, Nickelback, you want to start there. Chad killed it. I mean, I was never a huge Nickelback guy when I played, right? I used to see Chad all the time in Vancouver. Partied with them. Always wanted to take the after party back to Abbotsford. I'm like, fella, I'm going to Cole Harbour. It's nothing personal, but, I'm not going all the way to Abbotsford, but I appreciate, how they've stuck together for so long, how many bangers they do have. And then when Chad goes out there, the times I have seen him, it's probably my 4th or 5th time I've seen him, plays all the bangers and plays his guts out. He truly is a rock star when it comes to going out there and just shredding it. He shredded for about an hour or whatever he played. He gave her.
Good Alberta guys, man. Well, what can I say? The guys are from the fucking prairies, and they like you said, Obes, they've had some shakers from, Much Music days all through, a change in the way we all look and view music, and they've stuck together, like you said. But I just feel for, that sort of venue and that sort of vibe with all the people pinned from fucking noon right through midnight, they're like a good band. They're just, you can handle a Tiesto for just a little bit, but if you want a good sing-along and it's not so much country, because country can be whatever. I just think fucking Nickelback, they crush it. So from afar, I was going, fuck, this is the time. These boys are having a time.
Yeah, you brought it, AJ Swish?
I mean, the pride of Hannah, Alberta, boys. I'm
right,
coming in right into the bird's nest. 8 number 1 hits. Obviously, they're a little bit older than me, Chad, but at 50 years old, the one thing that I was so impressed about with fellas is the command that Chad has on the stage, the way he presents, the way he talks, enunciates. It's almost like he could do like stand-up comedy when he's up there because he has the whole crowd engaged, and then he's like, you know what? I need another shot. Takes his shot, and he just starts strumming that 6th string and fucking brings the house down. Like, his command of the room was so impressive, and I'm like, wow, what a fucking show that was, because all eyes were on him. Not one person was distracted.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I love about it. He gets banged up there. He drinks every time I see him perform, he's taking shots. And I love that. That's like, to me, that's a fucking rock star. So let's get banged up. And another thing I love about Chad, he always wears all black. Right? He had the black tee with the black jeans. And Jay Swish, back in my single younger days when I was heading north every weekend, it was black tee, black jeans, black leather, fella. That was the fucking staple. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, fella. You know what I mean? I'm coming out. Check the pockets. See what you got. Let's go.
Oh, 100%. And black on black. I mean, the tale's old as time. It is the best look. Johnny Cash, obviously-esque. But you guys threw out that one picture. I don't know if it was Princey or whoever threw it on the IG feed leading up to the Waste Management on Friday. You young guys were looking good. It was about, 10 years ago. Oh, but you had that exact look, my friend. The hair was just spiked perfect. Up dog was looking mint. Oh, you were looking juice, fella. I mean, I got to give it to you.
The up dog's the only guy that had any kind of a different outfit on. I think he had the kind of the button up. What do you want to call it?
I don't know what I did see that photo. That was from our boy Cody's. He did a spec home up on Bluebird.
Yeah.
Blue Jay Way.
Yeah.
Sick pad.
Yeah, we all went out that night too. Whatever of us, 7 of us, right to the club. How are you? All dressed in black leather jackets, ready to fucking rock. It was awesome. That's Princey. Princey posts everything on Missin Curfew for those out there. Sometimes people DM me about stuff posted. I have nothing to do with what's posted. Mark Prince runs the social media. Cuts a nice clip, Jay Swish?
That's a crispy clip, and I just love those posts on a Friday. Have yourself a weekend, fellas, or have yourself a fella Friday, and it's a flashback of all you beauties together. Because that's you're still in your prime, boys. But getting those pictures of you playing the National League, seeing you all together, like it's just like wow, that's a good crew right there, baby.
I'm not in my prime.
There need to be some drastic changes right now.
I needed a fucking shot of Tortorol halfway through that first day at the Wasted Management. I'm like, big guy, my back's killing me. He's like, they're doing Tortorol shots in 17 in the Thunderbird tent. I'm like, take me there immediately.
That's it. Yeah.
And then the guy ran out of the doctor and nurse ran out of needles, right? I'm like, he's like, we're out of needles. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, can you just shoot it down my mouth? And what he's like, I've never had anyone ask me if you could just take it orally like that. I'm like, well, listen, I'm willing to, sign an NDA here or whatever you want, so I won't sue you. He's like, let me go check the other tent. Came back with a needle properly right in the ass.
Nice.
Those 3 hours of just pure. My back didn't hurt. And then I got to Nickelback.
Playoff game.
Yeah, I got back to Nickelback, and she started tightening up again. But it was a game changer for him. Just to your point of I'm not in my prime anymore. One day I was done, fella. I mean, I used to be able to go there for 3 days and rock and roll.
Nothing like needing a Tortadol shot to get you through the day-night doubleheader. You're gearing up like upset, and you're playing it like it's Game 7. You're like, Doc, need something here.
So, boys, let me ask you, who was the drunkest guy you seen all day there?
In our group? I'm going to say the big guy. The big guy won, first star.
Full Bambi leg.
Yeah, he was having a
baby
time.
Deer.
He was having a time.
How hot were the chicks? Again,
everywhere.
For our listeners,
everywhere.
They're all just like, guys, how are the babes?
Yeah,
they were everywhere.
If you're a young single guy.
Did you get any numbers, Schmaltzy?
I did, yep. I got about a baker's dozen. No, not a baker's dozen. Probably half that. 5 or 6.
And 3 days later, how have you followed up with any? How's that going?
I am going to pursue that probably tonight or tomorrow, depending on. I got some work to do tonight, but Wednesday before I slide out of Montreal, I do have something lined up. I can confirm that.
I can't wait to talk to you on Thursday and see how that's going.
I do appreciate you slow playing it, right? Because, they probably got a few. They hung out their numbers to a few guys, and a lot of guys are probably horny, texting them Monday. They're hungover from working, and you're just kind of slow playing it. I think that, like rounders. No, not rounders, like swingers. How many days? 6 days, right? Isn't that what they say? How many days are you going to wait? 6 days.
Desperation is the disease, Obes. You know what I mean? Like you can't come off too desperate and
too horny.
Or too horny, because you have to keep your focus.
Or can you? I don't know. Maybe you can.
Yeah,
maybe you don't want to get lost in the shuffle where she's like, "Fuck, I got two other guys that now that I got dialed in.
I've definitely done it both ways. Yeah, I've definitely done it where I'm firing them off that night,
Yeah.
where I'm just like, fuck. And then other times where I'm like, almost forget. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll fire a text now.
And it's important to do it before, like, you got to do it in the morning, right? Or in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So they don't, so they don't just get a text at like 9, like, hey, what's up? You're 9 p.m.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? You want to grab a drink or what?
Hey, what are you doing, babe? What are you doing over there?
Yeah, I think it's a game. I think it's you're coming out of a workout or you're grabbing a coffee and you kind of just you throw that in her ear. Maybe something later in the week. Maybe we could go grab a drink. Maybe we could go for dinner. Whatever you want to do. If you have time, let me know. I'm not going to be here this weekend, but we can line something up and you kind of just go from there.
Yeah, you say like, hey, I'm on the road. Like I'm
That's
in
all
Montreal. I'm in Montreal for the weekend. You know, busy. I just got out of yoga class. I'm gonna go grab an afternoon drink. I don't know what you're doing if you're free. You know, Houston's.
Does it sound like you misses being single at all or what? Holy fuck, you're fun.
Just giving the boys a little tip of the tat.
Do you think he misses it at all or what? He's got his game plan ready to rock here. He's like, you had a good run.
I'm just thinking, like, you know, what I was like back in the day. You know, five years ago, I was just trying to send it as best I can.
You did send it. But it is nice and that's one of the things about the National League is like, hey, I'll be in town in 2 weeks. You know, in playing the Hawks in 2 weeks. There was no better feeling than that. Like lining that up and then landing into Chicago and dropping the bags and just having a night lined up. It was the fucking best.
Yeah, I always want to. I never want to give the night away, though. You know, I never want to commit to something that I'd have to.
Even the night before the game?
I'd want to go for dinner with the boys and see where.
Yeah, see, I didn't care about that.
And then see where the night would go.
I know where my night was going. Dinner, fucking right back to the Four Seasons and shut her down. That's where my night was going. That's
my night. It never knew where it could go. So.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah, what's this headboard? Is this 150 flex? Is this stiff enough?
Yeah, Jay Swish, what the Up Dogs tried to say is enjoy the single
life. Love is blind. Life is blind.
Enjoy the single life. Back to the wasted management. Couple things I wanted to touch on with you beauties was security was way up. So when we talked about it a couple months ago, I mean, people were still having a good time, but the security was way tighter. Not as many GA passes. They only hand out certain day passes now. Like if you have a Thursday pass and you don't come Thursday, you're done. Where before you buy a 1 day pass, you can come any day. They did that. They tightened it up. I think it's better that way. It was still a lot of fun, but it wasn't a complete fucking gong show, right, Jay Swish?
No, I mean, last year was insane. It felt like we were in Daytona Beach or Panama City running around for a spring break with a bunch of kids that go to state college. This year, it felt a little cleaner. It was crispier. And just the clientele, I don't know if it was because the Super Bowl was in town last year or the weather or just the accumulation of both, but the clientele felt a little higher this year, a little higher class. Totally. Everyone, from what I saw, was pretty well behaved, man. It was a good group. Everyone obviously was drunk, but it wasn't like they were falling down, doing the mudslides. People's shirts are off, the beer dispensing helmets. It didn't have that frat boy like feel this year. And honestly, we keep going back to it, but I'm just like having flashbacks. Like the talent this year was the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. It really was. I mean, we're talking about pussy this whole time, but again, it was just, I got to say, it was.
It just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I don't know.
I'll tell you
what's on my mind right now.
Yeah, the Scottsdale Police Department was out in full force, too. They had a couple, like, tanks looking things at the entrance, and, like, they were, like, if something was going to go down, they were ready to fucking.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it was. Show a little force out there. They showed some force, and this new security company they had, all these guys looked like kind of tatted up fucking. Guys you don't want to mess with.
We're back, baby.
Yeah. It was great.
And the biggest thing, Obi, too, they had 2 new entrances, so you didn't have to wait like 2 hours to get in. They had a couple side entrances. That was a game changer, brother, coming in, especially just off of Greenway Hayden there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you need that entrance by the 18th tee. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly where it was.
That's exactly where that entrance needs to be, because that is just a shit show. 1 laner in, 1 laner out.
It was seamless getting in there this year compared to last year. It was unbelievable. Last year it felt like we were in the running of the bulls. This year it was just so easy, stress free. You can go in there half cooked and you don't have to worry about anything. It was awesome.
Fuck, I didn't know about the other entrances.
And then how about our friends at DraftKings? Did you guys make it in to have a drink at the sports book?
No, I went right to 16 and just fucking
nice.
Yeah, right to 16.
I was there a couple nights. I was there on Wednesday. It was buzzing, and then as well between Nickelback and the day shift.
Yeah,
it was awesome, man. It was buzzing. There was people in there placing bets, but the patio was stuffed. It was a great time in there.
Awesome.
It was
that location is just mint for that tournament right there. DraftKings did it right on the entrance. Booyah, get after it.
yeah, it's unbelievable. Even just going there just on a normal weekend, if you're going to check out a UFC fight or a guy like me popping in for sporting events, boys, it's awesome. That place it's unreal.
I got to give some love to a couple Thunderbirds. Darcy Hordichuk, Hordy, you fucking beauty. He took me and Todd Pickup and his crew down to this cool little thing they have now. It's called the Tee Shot. So they bring you in. There's a full bar right there. You go in, you grab a cocktail. They walk you down, and you literally are sitting on the tee box. And I just said, now, imagine you could just sit here all day and they could bring you drinks. Like, well, that would be worth, what, $25,000 a ticket probably? Like, if you just sat there and you had your own waitress. I mean, it was unbelievable. Pickup and the boys loved it. So thank you, Hordy. And James Peeler, absolute beauty Thunderbird. He runs 17, the Cove. This party kept going till the very end before the bird's nest. So we hung out there. He had a DJ. It was fucking sick. The booze was flying. And it's his hole. He's an absolute beauty. He's the guy that actually told me about the hockey tournament Richardson was talking about. Awesome. The one that Andrew Ladd has. So to those two Thunderbirds, thanks, man. Those guys are legends. What a week they have, but they hooked us up pretty good. So I want to give those boys some love. And then last but not least, the hole-in-one, man. I didn't see it. I heard it. Fucking place went bonkers, man. I never, the whole thing was shaking. It was somewhat a little bit scary, but at the same time, it was just going buck titty.
Fucking ho, yeah. Man is coming down the chimney too, by the way. That one went right in there. Dunk City. I was playing Big Canyon with the boys and Emiliano Grillo.
Yeah, good Argentinian.
Good Argentinian. A hell of a shot, but that's got to be.
But I was down there, so it was playing 163 downwind. So I don't know what he hit, whether a wedge or a 9-iron, but it wasn't playing very long, and it was a little down breeze. I'm
probably a wedge.
Yeah.
Because you're juiced up.
Yeah.
Your veins have got to be pumping.
But that pin was cut right on the right, and if you miss it right, you're fucking down, tight lie. And if you miss it left, it comes back this way. Like that green is literally like that. It's a tabletop. It's crazy. That course looked so pure. It looked so pure. It was... Richie's playing it right now, that fucker. The party continues. We're going to get to Richie. But Wasted Management. Shout out, I saw Nickelback too. I saw Noodles, Strutty, Aginla, and Kami. So the hockey boys were out in full force for Nickelback. That Commodore's a beauty, eh?
He is, yeah.
He's a beauty. I said, Kami, you still with that girl? It's funny you should ask, Obes. Funny you should ask. Moved out this morning. I go, he goes, I'm set my ways, Obes. I said, fella, I get it. I've been living one with September. Mac Miller, I get it, buddy. I get it, fella. Enjoy it. You're out. You're free. But hey, the Thunderbirds are beauties. That tournament, I'll be back there again next year. Moving on, a little intro, boys. Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old girlfriend from the Super Bowl or from the MVP awards or whatever the fuck it was, the NFL honors. If that doesn't show you that money and championships get you fucking pussy, I don't know what will. I mean, did you see her? He had all his Super Bowl rings on. She's just got everything showing. He's 74 years old or something like this, and she's a dime piece. I'm like, what a flex, man. Yeah. If that doesn't make you want to work hard out there, young guys, fucking work hard. Good things happen.
I'd like to see his playbook with her, though, eh? He's got a pretty solid playbook for the offense, defense. Like, I'd like to see when he's...
I would say she has the playbook.
You think so?
Yeah, she says, Billy, you just lay down there, fella.
Get over here, young Bill.
I don't know how much energy Bill's got left in the tank. Although he's going back to coach, maybe he does have the legs.
I'd say this is what keeps him going, right? Like, he knows if he keeps coaching, it's about winning and getting young, just a young, hot girlfriend.
Yeah, the picture was hilarious.
It makes sense. Guys, he dedicated so much time to being a coach. Now he's got to just go just have some fun thumping, no?
I just mean, this is no disrespect. I'm no male model myself, but Bill Belichick is not exactly a good-looking man either, right? And he's staying there with her, and I'm just looking at this girl going, almost good for you, honey.
What's your dad thinking?
Yeah, she doesn't give a shit.
She must have been a Pats fan.
She's just scrapping AJ Swiss. She doesn't care, right?
Just scrapping. I mean, good for Bill, boys. Even if he has to play the power bottom game, he's got a 24-year-old hottie like that. And she was wearing like a cheerleading ring herself. So Billy had all of his on, and then she had her own ring that was pretty big. Everyone thought it was one of the Super Bowl rings, but it turns out it was like a cheerleading ring, either from high school or for college. But man, she's hot anywhere, right?
She's hot anywhere. She's hot
legit.
anywhere.
What's going to happen if one of these young college kids is out one night at the college bar and runs into her and she, yes, he wants to get her going with one of the young boys and all of a sudden he's like, buddy, Bill's going to fucking kill you. You fucking banged his girlfriend last night.
It's like the movie Step Brothers, eh?
Yeah.
It's like, Dad, what happens if she comes in and, she's had the old bull, but now she wants the young calf?
100%. I mean, I still think though she knows the mouth,
yeah,
who's feeding her, right?
That's very true. But
Billy Brinks trucks.
Billy breaks trucks. I mean, what a flex having. What does he got? 8 Super Bowl rings? Does he have 8 or 9? He's got 9, I think, doesn't he?
9, I think. Yep.
2 with the Giants. 9 rings.
oh, that's insane.
Or 8. Because Tom won 1 in Tampa. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. But him standing there with that on, I was like, what a flex. Like, I always said if I won 1, I would wear it. I remember Getsy chirped me. He's like, we don't even wear those things anymore. If I would have won 1, I would have wore it everywhere. Especially the stuff like that. Then, I don't know if you saw, what's the head coach for the Rams? McVay. He had his on after the Super Bowl. He was on the Fox panel. The thing was like this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just unbelievable.
That's good. Yeah, we don't have one, so we don't really.
No, we don't. We could maybe make our own. If we'll miss a Curfew championship ring here. Hey, what do you think, Swish? What do you think?
Down.
Slide it on.
You're sitting down with like the real Rocket or some of these legends of the game. Like, oh, so what ring is that? That's the Missin Curfew Cup, baby.
Yeah. I just say, boys, you see that picture of Bill Belichick, if that doesn't make you want to work hard out there, boys, and put in the effort, good things happen to guys who win and make money. So, Bill, you're a beauty, buddy. Keep it going. We are on the 4 Nations break right now, and I thought, I got to ask these two beauties, if we are in the league, where would we be going right now? Let's take the Missin Curfew time machine. We're all single. We're in the league. Well, Jay Swish is single. He doesn't have to get in the time machine. Where would we be heading right now? You got 10 days. So you could go somewhere like really sick.
Colombia.
Yeah, you could go to Colombia for sure. You could go to like someplace like Australia if you wanted like hot weather. It's hot as fuck down there right now.
I go Saudi Arabia.
You get fucking arrested over there. Hey, Updog. No, imagine Updog's lifestyle in Saudi.
I hear Saudi's great right now, boys. I hear it's just
isn't there tons of
clubs and I think you're gonna get escorted around the right way if you do it properly.
Oh.
I think they take care of
What's doing it properly? How much does that cost you?
I actually don't know.
Yeah. I thought Saudi, they're strict as fuck over there.
They're building and building like what took Dubai, I guess, 50 years. I read this article. Saudi's doing it in like 5 years. They took the blueprint of how to build this mega city for like fun and wealth and all this shit, and they're building it fast. And I hear it's like throw this out there, but I hear the women over there are insane. Like it's from everywhere. They're the top of the top. Well, and they're all over there. So maybe I just gave it away. But
technically partying in Saudi Arabia is possible. It is important to understand due to strict religion laws, alcohol is prohibited.
Well, yeah, you got to go in the special clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just be getting pinned on the street, probably.
No, I think.
How'd you leave, though? You're just banged up. They grab you. Yeah, sorry, I was in that club, man. I got a game in a week, bro.
Yeah.
Well, they for sure want tourists to go over there, obviously. So there's got to be a way to do it, for sure.
Saudi's first nightclub right here, September 4th, 2024.
Oh, wow.
Saudi's first nightclub, alcohol free, it says. Doesn't say anything about anything else, old boy.
Mushrooms? Or?
I'm sure you can. I just always thought Saudi Arabia was...
it
wasn't on my list of things to do because I didn't want to end up getting thrown in the clink, but that could happen anywhere, really, AJ Swish?
I mean, you got to play your own ball, play it as it lies, boys. I think for me, I would probably do a stint in Barcelona, and then I might work my way over. I might do 3 or 4 days there just to get a touch up at the W there. It's one of the best hotels in Europe.
Yeah, it is.
I'm concerned.
It is.
There's the Eclipse Bar at the top level.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I would do probably a 3 or 4 day there, and then I would slide either to Monaco or Turkey, because Turkey, I've heard really good things, and I want to get to Istanbul. So
you've been to Turkey, right?
I have. I've been to Istanbul and Bodrum. Amazing.
What'd you think?
They're the best. It's summertime though, and Istanbul's not like perfect for party scene, but the place is so like historic. It borders basically Asia, Europe. Yeah, it's amazing. You go down south, the little island, and that's where it's the creme de la creme. Places to eat. That dude, that Salt Bay, had his first restaurant down there, but he's a nerd.
Yep.
But anyway, great hotels. Stayed at the Makakisi. It's unbelievable. All the yachts. So you could just go from Greece or Italy or Spain to like Bodrum. That's kind of if you get the big boy boats.
If you're unrestricted off the sheet, is it pretty good?
Unrestricted off the sheet, summertime fun. I think you got to go to like Ibiza. 100%.
Yeah.
That's where the parties. That's the party, and not just those raging fucking raves, but you can go to like all the nice beach clubs and outdoor activities.
Yeah.
It also matters at what conference you're playing in right now, right? Like, so if you're in the Eastern Conference, your trip makes a ton of sense, Jay Swiss, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
You play for the Devils, Rangers, or anywhere on the East. You're out here in the West. Fucking Sydney, Australia, man. I know it's a long flight, but you go down there right now as a single guy in the middle of summer, fucking break out the nut huckers like the nut huggers that Updog used to wear and just have a time. I don't know if anyone did that, but that's where I would have been heading, boys, right there.
I think I just saw Joel Edmondson, Scotland. His girl's from Scotland. He's brought his little one over there.
Scotland?
Yeah, but that's got to be a first, I'd say, in the NHL.
Is he playing golf or anything? Or?
No, I mean, I don't think well, maybe he plays Scottish golf this time of year. I'm not sure.
Tell you what, he's playing great for the Kings.
Yeah.
Great for the Kings.
Guy.
I remember somebody, Updog's got a beef with the Leaf fans. Some Leaf fan was like, I can't believe you'd have Jake McCabe or you take Edmondson over McCabe. I'm like, I would take Joel Edmondson over McCabe any day of the fucking week.
Yeah.
It's not even close to me. I just love Edmondson's game, and he's won a cup. He's playing great for the Kings, man. Great. Big minutes. Penalty kill.
Fucking right. It's a big signing for those guys. Toughness. Got to be tough.
So I'm going to Sydney. Updog is going to Saudi Arabia. Break out the fucking chic outfit. And Jay Swish is going to be at the W Top Cheese in Barcelona, parlayed into Monaco, parlayed into... You going to hit London on the way back, maybe? You got to hit London on the way back, maybe, fella, for a couple pints before you head back for the start of camp again.
Yeah, or if, all else fails, just head to the red light district while it's still there. Pick up some plant-based items and, knock your skating crew away and get the hell out of town.
You're the red light district, and this is coming from one of the greasiest guys to ever play it, and it's just greasy, but it's greasy.
It's so greasy. I've been there.
Yeah. It's greasy.
The chicks dancing in the windows.
Yeah.
You're like thinking should I go in there? Yeah. Should I? Should I pull?
Paris would be sick.
What's really on those red lights? Let's take those lights off for a second. See what we're working with here.
Yeah.
Paris is sick.
Sweden, Stockholm. I mean, a night in Stockholm could be one of the best times ever.
And then let's not forget
the wall.
You could always just do, if you want to stay local, Las Vegas, Nevada. As this guy, the single guy in the NHL is good, and then Cabo, St. Lucas. You can never go wrong. But this feels like a bigger break. But I guess to get the bye week now, right? So it's always this long.
Yeah, well, they're getting 7 days to mix it. I'd go 2 days Miami, maybe a couple days in Tulum.
Get the air miles up, eh? That's on the way, though. Miami right to Tulum.
Have you guys done Japan? Or anywhere in Asia?
No.
Loops has. He's done.
But I don't think Japan's what you want as a single guy, for the break.
No, you go there for food.
Yeah, bring your chick there.
You go there for the sushi.
Kyle loves food, eh? Collins, you love food, huh? You live foodie.
Love it. Well, that's where I'm headed next week, boys. Japan. So
nice.
I'm looking forward to the food. Cannot wait.
Buddy, I got a list for you. I just sent to my boy Ian Richie.
Send it over.
Shout out to Ian.
Send her over.
He's headed there too with his wife. But Lupul gave me this. It's maps, it's food, it's fucking everything to do. So you're welcome.
Beauty.
Good to know, boys. Good to know. So what I'm getting out of this, Japan, got to bring your own trim.
Yeah.
I got from this.
I think so. I don't know. I've never been, but it feels like that to me. It feels like that's a couple's trip.
But that's another thing we should talk about before we slide off is do you bring your own trim on the road for the break? A lot of guys probably mixed emotions. Like, do you go into a city just 4 guys ready to rock and roll, or does the 4 guys, is one in charge to bring a couple? You got to have, it's nice to have a couple cool chicks around. I'd always believe that. Whether whether you have to hook up with them or not, it's nice to just know that you got a couple cool ones when you go to dinners and you go to the club and then after parties. It's fun to have girls around,
I never brought any. I seem to find some usually, but I don't know. On the breaks, I always went single. Yeah, like Cabo, Vegas, single. I wouldn't bring any girls if I was going to Cabo, but I mean, you have before.
I always brought. Yeah, we'd always bring just a pack, and a lot of them would be from Scottsdale. Actually, back in the day, we'd be like, "Hey, girls, we're this is our break. 3 or 4 of you jump on it. We'll get you guys a flight. Come down. We got a huge, nice house."
Yeah, I like the idea ups for maybe half the trip. You know what I mean? Because it is nice to have.
Oh yeah, not 7 days.
Right.
No chance.
2 or 3 days, little stint.
No chance.
That's not bad. That could work.
Yeah. Well, what's Nicky Schmaltz doing? Where are those boys going? Kels, are they doing anything? They tell you where they can you? Where's the Utah Hockey Club going, fella?
Kels is here right now, actually, and friend of the show, Robert Bortuzzo, is staying at his place right now. I think he's actually leaving to go somewhere else.
Hawaii.
The Twos is in town. Nicky Schmaltz, he's in Cabo with his lovely. They're doing a little bit of a Freddie couples trip. Him and Krauser, so they're staying in Cabo. And then
Twin Dolphins?
here. What's that?
Are they playing that course Twin Dolphin?
I'll have to ask. I'm not sure if they are.
Oh yeah.
I'll ask on that. But they're coming here because Chikrin's getting married during the break. So a bunch of the guys are coming here. They're doing 3 or 4 days to finish off the trip and then, go back to the.
Why would you ever get married over the break? Why would you ever get married at all if you've been in the league? But why would you get married over the break? Selfish to the other teammates, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe that's why you do it, so you don't have to bring anybody. So
Yeah.
you just, you
I think
just
that's what
like,
he was thinking.
it's like a destination on top of a destination wedding. It's like, hey, by the way, boys, I know you only get a week off.
He's having a great year, too. If I was in the Caps list yesterday, I'd be like, hey, chicks, what the fuck? You're getting married over the break? We're in first place here. Don't go changing things up on the boys.
I agree.
You're not getting married. Let's wait till we win the cup here. What if he goes and gets married to come back, the Caps go in the fucking stinker? Is it his fault, Jay Swish,
I think it is.
Yeah, the dynamic is completely changed.
Dynamics up, yeah.
He's playing unbelievable, too. I watched that Caps team play against the hockey club on Sunday. And the hockey club, it was John Carlson's 700 point, which we're going to get to in our Get This Guy Labatt Blue. And you know how teams come out sleepy after a ceremony. And the hockey club jumped up 2-0 right away. Bing, bang, boom. And then the Caps threw everything at him and just couldn't get back. They tied it up late and lost in a shootout. Nicky Schmaltz had one of the sickest fucking goals. Boom, backhand, titty. But that Caps team is good, man. 6 good D. Like Mangiapane, Duheim, Stromer's playing great, but their depth veteran guys on the Caps are good, man.
The GM did a great job.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah, Pierre looked the ball.
I'm watching that game going, how is Sidney Crosby and the fucking Pittsburgh Penguins that bad? They basically had the same window of success. Sid's had more success. So why can't they? I don't know. You got to give the GM a lot of credit. What you said. That's where I'm going with that. He's done a good job. I wish I was in Sydney right now playing in the National League at Bondi Beach with a pair of flip-flops getting pinned, but I'm here doing Missin Curfew with you boys. Speaking of Missin Curfew, this show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours, fellas. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Missin Curfew, fellas. It's the Missin Curfew Dog of the Week. I've been watching the LA Kings play a lot lately. Should have beat the Ducks on Saturday night. Dostal absolutely stood in his head. Drew Doughty's playing great. Deserves to be at the Four Nations. But this kid, Tanner Jeannot, he's a fucking dying breed. He got in a fight. I can't remember who he fought. But I've just loved his game the last couple of weeks of watching LA a little bit closer. He forechecks. He can make a play. And then if you want to fight, he can fight. There's not many Tanner Jeannots left in the league, which makes me fucking pretty sad. But he's a dying breed, and he's my Missin Curfew. Dog of the week, boys. This guy, as Jay Swish would say, is a nail gun. And I'll tell you what, this LA Kings hockey club, he's a big part of it. And come playoff time, that's the guys you want to go to war with, up dog.
Fella. I agree. Swishy, you got one?
Yeah, I got a dog of the week, boys, and it is actually a member of the Missin Curfew staff. I'm going to send it over to Brad Richardson. I mean, the runner this guy has been on, boys, is just no short of spectacular. Turned 40 last week, and the bender continues for Richie. He's on the course today, teeing it up at TPC, Post Waste Management. And he said, I can't even escape the piss. The liquor is calling the shots at this point. I can't get off the wagon. So I just wanted to give some love and some respect for Richie, babe, not only a pro on the show, but just getting it done off the ice. Obes, I think he was hurting a little bit at the Nickelback concert, but he came in hot and started just saucing back the beers, right in the mix, sing along. So Richie, babe, he's a guy that, you know what? He's a guy's guy, but he's a leader in every sense of the word.
He's a dog of the week. Well, sure. It's funny. His beautiful wife, Jess, was at Nickelback. I got to hang out with them both. And I guess Bowie, his youngest daughter, said when they were leaving for the concert, Dad, your birthday's over. You can't just keep doing whatever you want to do. So even Bowie knows what kind of runner Richardson's on. Coming into the concert, he's like, fuck, I got to take it easy. I got guys coming in Sunday for the Wasted Management. I've been on a tear. And So we started getting going, and then I had to leave to go with Todd Pickup and his crew. And I text Richie at about 11:50. I said, should I slide over for one? And crickets. He never got back to me. So I went home and went to bed. But I tried to tickle it in front of him at 11:50 Mountain Standard Time.
That's early there.
And I said, fella, should I slide over for a couple here before we call tonight? And he didn't even get back to me. Smart by him, because if he says yes and I come over to his house, we're looking 3-4 o'clock right in the face. He knows that too. That's why he didn't get back to me.
Maybe we just keep him on the piss and we'll end up seeing him in Montreal, maybe. He said just go 2 more days, Richie, Thursday, then you just get on the bird.
He's heading to Yellowstone. Stoley's putting on a little hockey camp in Yellowstone.
Oh, nice.
Stoley, give till it hurts, Stoley.
Yeah.
Give till
absolutely, boys.
I love that, Jay Swish, a good old runner, and Richardson's on a runner. He's your Missin Curfew dog of the week. DraftKings bets, baby. Let's get some skin in the game. Presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. All right, up dog. Here's your time to do your
bowl champions.
victory lap. Your victory lap, bud.
Listen, I was deep down. I was Bills. Obviously, Josh Allen would have loved to see him. Congrats on the MVP, Josh Allen. Well deserved. But Super Bowl, boys, the over and the Eagles teaser, it hit. What can I say? Lupul, great job. Lupul had a hell of a year betting favorites.
You're lucky it hit.
Teasers.
You're lucky the over hit. You're lucky Patty just came out and started slinging it near the end of the game where it wasn't going to hit.
I actually hit the over too.
They hit it with the field goal, right?
Yeah. No, that last one got my full over, and I would have cleaned house if I took the Chiefs in the second half -6.5, and they fucking won by 6. But all said and done, boys, I think it was a great game for the Eagles. It was a snoozer for the fucking Chiefs. The first half was a complete fucking beatdown. I think you said it best, Obes. Like, they were trying to pack the box on Barkley, and then they picked him apart. But my bets were good. Eagles, thanks for coming. First half, fucking in the game. It was a beatdown.
I was on the wrong side of a Swiss dog. I took a beatdown. I had the Chiefs in the future that didn't hit, obviously. I took the money line, and then I had Hunt anytime touchdown, Kelsey anytime touchdown. Kelsey, I don't know if he fucking caught a ball, did he?
Neither did Hunt. Hunt had a terrible game.
It was
I don't even know if Hunt played.
I'll tell you what, the Eagles were a problem all year. I knew that going into the game, but the difference, in my opinion, and I'm no John Madden, but the fact that they could get that much pressure with only sending 4 guys, I mean, they didn't blitz once. That is absolutely insane to me to have that much pressure on Patty Mahomes that they had him out of sorts. The Chiefs, they do need to figure out their offensive line. And then, like you said, up dog, they tried to stack the box against Barkley, and they did that. I think Barkley had 50-some yards rushing. If you would have told me that before the game started, I would have said the Chiefs would have won for sure. Hurts picked him apart. You got to give this guy credit. I thought his MVP speech was the worst speech I've ever seen. But, I mean, I guess he's just that cool of a guy that he just kind of just stood there and was, like, not saying a whole lot. But I was like, how about you fucking smile? You just won the MVP.
I didn't see that one.
I was just like, did you see that? Like, he wasn't really giving a whole lot to old Terry Bradshaw there. Terry was trying to fucking give him a little nudge. He's just like, I thank my teammates, and, it feels good. I was like, what? Holy fuck, buddy.
Yeah, it's crazy, too. And I he's got that cool demeanor, that swag, Joe Cool a bit Hurts does. But it's crazy, Obes. Like, you think back to Hurts in his college career, like, he ultimately lost the job to Tua. He had to transfer to Oklahoma, finds himself drafted behind all of those guys, a 3rd-round pick, and now he's a Super Bowl champion and MVP. He just manages the game so well. He just sits back there, seems to make the right play, and he's, like, just one of those guys that, like, I think he's better than he gets credit for, don't you think?
No, the case is dead. There's no more criticizing him. I mean, about how he can't throw, he can't do that. I mean, he made unbelievable throws. And, when you get Brown one-on-one on the outside, even against McDuffie, who's an all-pro fucking corner, I mean, Brown said after the game talking to Boomer and the boys, he's like, I get one-on-one, you could put the best corner in the planet on me, and I'm licking my chops.
Yeah.
And Hurts just made it rain, and Devontae Smith made some big catches. It was just, I mean, down the pipe, the offensive line of the Eagles, I think their average is like 330 pounds.
Yes.
I mean, they were just big boys. That Jalen Carter, I think his name is, that played at Georgia, he is a fucking game wrecker out there. I think he could cuss Patty Mahomes on that one fucking,
Yeah.
And say what you want about the refs. The 2 first calls, the first call on the Birds was an awful call. And then the second call against the Chiefs to keep that drive going was a terrible call. That was not pass interference either. So the first 2 calls, I thought were a little
just let him play.
Yeah,
it was the only smart thing Tom Brady said. I love you, Tom.
He was awful.
It was awful. But the only smart thing he said was that let these guys play. It's the first drive of the game. Like, don't fucking throw flags. Let's set the grounds for a war out here, right?
Listen, Tom looked great. His jawline is unbelievable.
Too much Botox.
He's got Botox is up there. He's got good skincare, and his watch was a $700,000 watch or something, or
Tourbillon, Jacob and Co. Fucking Tourbillon.
But other than that, like,
how about the coaching? What do you think?
He's awful though, Brady.
Yeah.
He's awful. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't know when to stop talking. It's just no flow. I think it's time for him to. It's tough to turn down 25 bananas, but
he owns a team now. Like, just chill. Fucking golf.
Yeah.
Hang out. Like, I'm sure they'll give him a buyout. Like, Fox, they owe him fucking 7 or 8 years at $30 million. Just take 120, leave, and you don't have to worry about it. Then you just be a front-facing owner, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a pride thing at this point, boys. He's been successful his whole career. He wants to try this. He wants a challenge. But I'm with you. Other than that watch, and by the way, that watch just Does Flowers sell that?
I don't know if you're going to be able to go to Flowers' town office and see that in there. I'm not sure.
Probably not. No, that you walk in the wrong street, that thing's fucking getting ripped right off your hand.
Shiny.
She's shiny. Yeah. Flowers was there though. Hey, Flowers, shout out to Flowers. Fuck, he went down there just full Philly style. Lupul was there. Scott Hartnell was down there. A lot of Philly fucking Flyers showing up there. A lot of Philly alumni is there.
I loved Obi's comment on Flowers' pick. He was on the private bird. He was sitting there gearing up, ready to go to New Orleans for the game. And Obi goes, "There's no chance you paid for that bird." And Luffus responds, "I bought Brecky, eh?"
Yeah. I go, "There's no way you chipped in for that bird, fella." He goes, "I bought the boys Brecky, eh?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure you did. McDonald's breakfast, $17."
He had McDonald's breakfast there, and he had McDonald's fucking Big Macs on the way home.
I was crying when I saw that. I bought Brecky, eh? Congrats, fella. $52. Fuck. What a beauty.
You know what? I had a bad feeling. Like I just felt like the Eagles, and then I was like, Flowers going down there on his birthday. Are they really? They're not going to lose on Flowers' birthday. He's down there with all his mutant Philly fans. It's just like it was a beatdown. I am so happy that the NFL season is over. Good fucking riddance. You're probably not. Eh? You and Lupul have been killing it. I mean.
I think I got to park it now. I'm going to bet Canada here down the stretch in this. We'll talk about it. But, yeah, the football season.
I'm happy to see it go.
It was good down there.
I thought it was a shitty NFL season. Maybe that's because I lost all my bets. But I thought it was shit. I thought the Chiefs all year were just, like, scrapping by. And then Josh Allen, who won MVP, I'm so happy for him. But, like, I don't know. The Vikings were good with Sam Darnold. What? Really? Like, Sam Darnold? I don't... Am I way off here, Swish? I thought it was a shitty NFL year. I'm not gonna lie, boys.
And we wanted a big comeback year for Aaron Rodgers. We didn't see that. It took Burrow a while to get going. It was just a weird year. It really was, anyways. It was kind of underwhelming, if I'm being honest. And that Super Bowl kind of just capped it off of like, fuck, you at least want to see a match.
Yeah, I think, listen, the ratings, it was the most watched Super Bowl ever. And they're all printing money, and Roger Goodell and the owners don't give a fuck about Missin Curfew says, but I don't know, man. I mean, I just think football is getting so soft too that it's just like it's lost its fucking compete level. Like
I would have loved to see Josh Allen face fucking the Eagles. I think that would have been a nice switch up. Yeah, I think we're just bored of seeing the Chiefs in there, to be honest. Yeah, it's fucking 5 out of 6 years we're watching the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, expecting to see one thing. It doesn't happen. But I mean, Barkley, the year he had. Your boy had for Baltimore, Russian Henry. Fuck out.
Is that GM for the Giants been fired yet? What the? How do you trade that? Like that guy should have been fired yesterday. What's he thinking?
Yeah, that's what happens when you have an O-line that's fucking beast.
No, that's true. That's true. Tough year for me, baby, at DraftKings. You're welcome. I donated to the company. I'm glad to see the NFL season fuck right off. Updog, congrats on all your bets, buddy. I know you're pulling for the Birds. Flowers. Congrats, fella, you mutant. He's going to the parade, eh? He's like 1.3 million people going. I'm like, that's a lot of mutants in one area, but
it is.
It's a lot of mutants in one area.
The look of that Broad Street, my God, that night.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know who did a great job too? Sorry, I thought Bradley Cooper, the way he announced the Eagles was unreal. I was like, oh, he set the tone. That was pretty good. John Hamm did a good job too. His voice was kind of in one from party, and I respect that hammer. But I thought Bradley Cooper really set the tone with the Eagles chant. I was like, fuck. That's a good advantage to them. Got the barn going. I was like, we're in one here.
Did you see all those mutants on Broad Street after the game? So they were all celebrating, but there was like a group of dudes, probably like a 20-on-20 dude fest, and they were all doing the brotherly shove, like in the middle of the street. So they'd like, snap the fake ball, and then they'd all just like pile on top of each other. And then one guy would go over the top or underneath, and then they'd celly with each other. Like they were beating each other up at the same time of celebrating. Like that's just Philly to a T. They were doing the brotherly shove out there on the streets of Broad Street. Hilarious.
Yeah, and maybe this is just my sour grapes continue here, but I think you got to get that out of the game. And the reason I do is because it changes their third down. Because they know that they just get, if it's 3rd and 7, they know if they just get 5 or 6 yards that they're going to do the tush push. It doesn't really make them have to air it out at times. I don't know. I've had enough of this tush push. You can do the quarterback sneak, but the two guys coming in to push, I think you got to get those guys out of there. They can't push the quarterback in my opinion.
But why doesn't every other team do it then?
That's a good point. They all don't have Jalen Hurts. I mean, Buffalo, you don't want Lamar Jackson fucking. You don't want
Buffalo
Lamar Jackson.
Knew how to do that. They'd be in the fucking Super Bowl. They had fucking twice the Josh Allen, and they didn't know how to push him. So it's an art. It is really an art. And Jason Kelsey, who's on TV a lot now, will tell you like it was it's kind of everyone on the line. It's not just the two dudes pushing. It's not just the quarterback. It's got to be the whole group.
It's tough on the bodies for the offensive lineman and D lineman too, though. If you're thinking player safety, they're taking all these fucking hits out of the game, but they're letting these guys get down with their necks, with their necks on the fucking thing and pushing on their necks. It's like Chris Johnson came back and he had to get his neck. Yeah. It's like, is that safe for football players? Do we want them fucking pushing on their vertebrae?
Yeah, Chris Jones, he was banged up after that play. He was on the sidelines getting that neck worked on. Then he had to tape a Percocet to it. But I don't know. Like,
he needed a couple vitamins.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, Obi.
I'm just bitter.
I think it'll be taken out of the game. But I just think from the other side of it is, why doesn't everybody do it then?
That's true, fella. That is true. You're right. I'm probably wrong again.
Not everyone's bud. Benching 700 pounds or squatting 700 pounds like that fucking freak.
Yeah.
He is a beast.
Congrats to the Birds. All their mutant fans. You gotta respect them. They love their squad. So moving on. Now that the Super Bowl is over, let's move on to something even that's really important here. Four Nations hockey. DraftKings bets, babies, continues. I have put a bet in already. Canada and the USA. I have taken Canada at plus 170. I got them on to win the tournament. Obviously, I got my T-shirt on here, boys. It's going to be tough. I just think with Crosby, that coaching staff they have, I think our goaltending is going to be good enough. I expected to be Canada USA in the finals, boys, but I got Canada at plus 170. I got them on DraftKings this morning.
I am looking at some props. I love that, Obes, but I'm looking at some props for shots. It's going to be, is this going to be a shooting gallery out here? You look at it's like you got Connor McDavid over 2.5 shots in a game for plus 200. Little things like this. We're going to see some. This is a lot of things to bet on, right?
Yeah.
Wall scoring.
I got one more bet. I took Sam Reinhart, friend of the show, to lead the tournament in scoring at plus 1,000. I just think Rhino on that PP unit, he's going to be, I hope, I haven't talked to Coop here, I hope Coop agrees with me, where he's just a bump out, where he's kind of that guy in the little bumper area where he bumps out to the middle, and we all know he can bury it. So because he's there, I got Rhino to lead the Four Nations in goals.
And just quickly before we slide it to you, Shwizzy, like Makar, over 4.5 points for the tournament. McDavid's over 5.5. And that's pretty much even money. I kind of think this is going to be a fucking shootout. I see these guys getting some peepers, and it's just like tic-tac, fucking goal. I could see like a 6-4 game, first game.
Makar could have 4 assist ups and 1
against Sweden tomorrow night. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, if that power play gets going, he's going to have at least a second apple on that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm looking at, we got a line over there at DK. Is there a line on Brady Kachuk hits? Is there an over-under on that? Because I would love to take the over on that thing. That line, that third line.
Yeah, so player stats, hat tricks, player goals, tournament points. I don't see hits yet. Player futures, top point scorer, goal scorer. Here we go. But let's see. Most goals. Austin Matthews is the favorite, plus 800. I don't see hits, my man. I don't see any hits.
Okay, I would.
There should be hits.
100%.
There should be, because that Bash Brother third line we keep talking about from USA with him and Millsy is going to be unbelievable to watch. Obviously, I'm going to take USA to win it, boys. Plus 800 for Amats to lead it in goals. But he's going to probably have to have 5-6 goals maybe to kind of lead that. Maybe 4.
So then they go per team here. So Canada most points in the whole tournament. McDavid plus 250. Then you go to Sweden. Willie Nylander at plus 500 to leave Sweden in points. I think is probably a good bet. He's been unbelievable this year. They got all kinds of stuff on DK. That's what makes this app unbelievable.
I might take
you can bet the exact points they're going to get in the round robin per team.
Patrick Laine, underdog for most goals in the tournaments, plus 3,000. Fucking Barkov would just be feeding them on that half wall, and maybe if Finley can,
we're going to get into the teams of Four Nations. Let's save that little bit here for the. But I'm with you.
I've got odds plus 3,000.
I want to talk to you about the Finnish Hockey Club. So DraftKings, baby, up dogs right. There's lots of great players, props. Get some skin in the game. Always gamble responsibly. Fellas, moving on here, Missin Curfew. Get this guy a Labatt Blue. Presented by Labatt Blue Light, the pristine Pilsner. Enjoy your beers together so you can live life to the power of we. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. Oh, I can't wait to get drunk with you boys in Montreal. Blue Lights, couple Blue Lights to start the tour.
Oui, Mr. O'Brien, oui.
Speaking of Montreal, our Captain Canada, Sidney Crosby. Me and the Updog were talking last week about his record playing for Team Canada. Well, here's his record as a captain for Team Canada. He's playing tomorrow night against Sweden. Sidney Crosby is 21-0 as a captain of Team Canada. Sid, get yourself a blue light, fella. Keep it rolling. Updog, 21-0. That's fucking nasty, bud.
I would be looking across from the Swede dressing room, looking at that, going, "Fuck, here we go again." I think it's a special thing having him there. I think he's going to uplift his guys like he always does. I think Cooper said it best. He has some humility to his game, which attracts all the guys around him. A kid I've always looked up to. I call him a kid just because he's younger. First time I ever seen him, he came out and skated with us in Halifax when I was with World Juniors. He was only 13 or 14. He was just a stud. And, man, that's a record that I don't know if anyone's beaten that. I don't know if anyone's going to wear the C. And finally, he can take the Captain Canada thing away from Ryan Smith. Right?
Yeah. Did he ever have it? He thought he did. I tripped him one day from the bench. I go, if you actually think you're Captain Canada, you're fucking nuts, Smitty. You loser. Nice gloves. I hated him. I hated Ryan Smith.
It was self-proclaimed, wasn't it?
Oh, self-proclaimed Captain Canada. I go, maybe make the playoffs. You won't play in every world championship here, bud. Updog got me going on the old Ryan Smith. But I'm going to continue dishing here. Shout out to both of our former teammates. A guy I only played 1 year with him, but I loved playing with this guy. He has a dry sense of humor. And Ryan Suitsy, 1,500 games in the National League. I remember playing with Suitsy, and the way he went back and got pucks and made that first pass, and he made the game look very, very easy. Easier than it really is. He continues to do that with the St. Louis Blues. So, Suitsy, get yourself a blue light, buddy, because 1,500 games is impressive in the National League. And last but not least for me, before I turn it over to Jay Swish, the Anaheim Ducks goalies. The goaltending that these guys have gotten the last 7 to 8 games, they're back to 500. I believe they are 4 or 5 points out of a wild card 2 spot. And there's 2 reasons, Lucas Distol and John Gibson. This goaltending's been unbelievable. So those 2 guys over the break, get a Labatt Blue in you because they're absolutely kicking Jay Swish.
It's good to see that too, Obes. I am going to slide one over to a cold, icy Labatt Blue to number 74, the Washington Capitals. I'm taking it back to 2010. I'm talking about Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, the World Juniors, where John Carlson scored the overtime winning goal. He said that kind of catapulted him into this illustrious NHL career. Started a little bit in the minors. He lit it up in Hershey. He made his way up to Washington. Stanley Cup winner. Now, Obi, 700 points in his bag, and he's still going so good on the blue line. Right shot, smooth. A guy I always looked up to. Played in the USHL, Indy Ice, first-round pick, goes into London, and the OHL lights it up. And you know what? Just one of those guys that I've always looked up to. So to see him having success, got to give him a Labatt Blue. He had that head injury last year where he took a puck to the ear. He bounced back. He's playing great hockey, and he's always been that leader back there, especially on the power play. Just sifting him over to Ovi. So John Carlson, get yourself a Labatt Blue. And lastly, I got to give one to Johnny Baptiste. He was the national anthem singer in New Orleans. The over-under, boys, was set at 120.5 seconds. 120 in a hook. Johnny Baptiste does the last line of the anthem 3 times over so everyone could hit the over on that. It was 121 on my clock as the People's Insider in my living room. Made us a ton of cash. So that was awesome to see. His family definitely had some skin in that game, but yeah, it was awesome. So good on him to repeat it not only once but 3 times, boys.
I'll tell you what, I saw your video. It was hilarious. But yeah, if you're an anthem guy, why not take the over? You dictate it. Is there anything in their contract saying they can't bet it? I don't know. That's above our pay grade probably.
Absolutely not.
If I was doing the anthem, I'd text you boys, hey boys, take the over. I'm going to really belt out these last 3 lines here and really drag it out for the lads.
Yeah, if you knew. Or like, hey, I'm going to lose this face-off here. It used to be the face-offs, the starting face-off. I'm like, hey, you starting tonight, kid? Boys, I'm going to slide one. Just the NCAA Beanpot was finalized last night to BC and Boston University. Boston University coming out on top. Sorry, Mac Daddy. But it was a good game. And I don't know if you guys caught it, but that tournament just looks unbelievable. These kids, something they probably always remember. Anyone who's ever played in it, that's all they talk about. But a good match. And The university came out on top, fellas. So you boys get yourself a nice cold Labatt blue lights. I'm sure they had a few.
Yeah. I caught the very end of it. I just turned it on when the game was over, but the building was buzzing and people were getting drunk on blue lights in there for sure. So that's always a fun tournament. And before I turn it over to Kyle, just on John Carlson, dude, everything you said is right. And let's not forget, like, Ovi, Backstrom, and him. Like, he's been there from day one. Like, he's been with Ovi since the start. I think maybe he came the year after, but he's been there forever. And without John Carlson, they don't have the Stanley Cup. They don't have the success. And he continues to snap it around. And 700 points as a defenseman is unbelievable. So, Jay Swish, good on you. John Carlson, congratulations, buddy. Get a blue light in you. Kyle Conway's got a couple, fella. What are you dishing?
Yeah, boys, just a couple beers here. This is a guy everyone's got to be careful of at all times, but especially now. Nathan McKinnon, 7 points in 28 hours. Just to put that in perspective, it took Janmark 33 games to get 6 points. He's got 7 points. He got 3 goals, 2 assists versus Calgary, and a goal and 3 assists plus against Edmonton. Just very impressive stuff. Get a beer, and he's going to have a great tournament. We can all see it now. Then another little 7-pointer here. Aho and Jarvis combined for 7 points against the hockey club the other night. 2 guys who are also going to be coming in hot to this tournament. All 3 of these players are looking great, and we're going to have some fun watching them here this week.
Yeah, Collins, on the McKinnon thing, I guess they must have heard me chirping them when we had John Michael Lyles on there because they finished off their little fucking streak in Western Canada by bending me over. I bet against him in every game, and they were just snapping it. And the funny thing about Aho and Jarvis is Rantanen didn't play. So I don't know what's going on in Carolina. I don't know. But Rantanen didn't play, and those guys absolutely lit it up. Yeah. So Rantanen's got 1 goal since he's been there.
It's worrisome.
And Natchez is finding another stride right now. Yeah. He looks even better than he was before to start the season off.
Yeah,
20 goals. 20 goals, 44 apples. I mean, that's a career year for this fella.
And the Vancouver Canucks are just proving me wrong right now, too. I got Canucks Nation coming at me. Lots of guys coming at me.
Yeah, they won their last couple before the break, too, right?
That Marcus Pettersson is a good defenseman. I watched them. I watched Vancouver's last couple games. He's good. They won the last 2 or 3 without Quinn Hughes. I bet against them every game. Like, no way they're winning. Fuck, they're not kidding. I'm like, are you kidding me? No Quinn Hughes, no JT Miller. Fuck. You know what I mean? It's just like, you got to give him credit. And I give credit to the real Rocket Talking, Swish?
Good coaching, bud.
Good coaching.
Dial in the boys.
Just on Aho, Jarvis, interesting thing here. McKinnon the other night, 25 shifts, 22 minutes, 47 on ice. Aho, 25 shifts, 17 minutes, 40 seconds on ice. So it just really goes to show, the less time on ice for Rantanen already. And the short shifts in Carolina is just the way they play,
And McKinnon stays on for the whole 2 minutes on the power play. Rod the Bod does not let that fly in Carolina. They have 2 units. Yeah. Nate Dogg stays out there for the whole time, which I don't blame him. If I was him, I would too. But that plays a factor in that, Kyle. But that's good digging there, fella. But Rod the Broad keeps him short, turn him over, let's go.
Could you imagine playing hockey, getting to play that full 2 minutes of the power play? Like, how unfair is that?
Yeah, that would have been fun.
So good. How many guys in the league do that?
Do you know the Oilers only have 5 guys that have scored power play goals? It's their first unit power play. Their second unit power play has not scored a power play goal.
Yeah.
Not one guy has got it on the second.
So think about this in the league. But you got McKinnon. You probably have, I don't even think Austin Matthews stays out there the whole time.
Ovi's one of them.
Is he out there the whole time?
No.
And then you got fucking Quinn Hughes, and you have fucking
the 2 main guys. The 2 main teams that do it are Avalanche Oilers. McKinnon, then when Rantanen was there, they stayed on for the whole minute 30 at least. And same with the Oil. Those are 2 teams that jump out to me. Uppy, with your question, of those big boys just stay out there for the whole time.
Like Quinn Hughes does, I think, probably.
Yeah,
right?
Probably.
How brutal is it too that you're on the, basically the scout team power play at that point because you're changing for that guy, but you're never going to get out there. So you're getting your reps in practice, but on the bench you're just like, fuck me. There's no way I'm getting a lick unless they're really stinking it up that night. No chance.
Yeah, second unit power play is a bit overrated in general. Like, it's just nice to be on the second unit come practice time because you're going to get your touches there. But let's see, unless you get out there with a minute and an offensive zone draw, if you get out there with 30 seconds, it's like, how do we get something going here? Like, it's hard.
I would have died to be on the second. That's
you played second unit power play in Phoenix,
yeah. But like that spot is so good for the touches that you need in order to get. If you ever want to be a 25 goal man, you need like that odd man opportunity out there. It's
I'm just
so
saying,
hard because then if you don't be a penalty killer either, your fucking coach better be really smart on how to get these guys all in the game.
Yeah, how excited are you when you're on the second unit and you get they go with you first? That doesn't happen much anymore, but like that happened to us in Colorado. We had 2 power play units where our first was a little bit better, but all right, we're gonna go with the second unit. And you get out there for the start of the 2 minutes, you're like, fucking right, let's snap it.
I mean, our whole career there was 2 power play units, and it was pretty even. Like guys it wouldn't fly if a guy stayed out there for a minute and 20, minute and 30.
No, especially if they weren't getting shit done.
Yeah, like fuck off.
Yeah.
You're not McDavid out there.
I used to yell at the guys like, get the fuck off the ice.
I guess I never played with that good of a player like that.
I played with the Sedins, and they would if they didn't have to
come off,
they would come off. Yeah, you know who'd like to stay out there though? Were the boys in Tampa, Vinny, Marty, Richie, and Dan Boyle. They'd stay out there, but our second power play unit was me, so I don't blame them. Yeah. I wouldn't have came off either. Paul Ranger, me and Range on the second PP unit. Hey, Paul Ranger,
and those guys have won too. What are you going to say to them? You know, like what are you going to say to LeCavier? Come off the ice, fella. Okay. We just won 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying anything to Vinny except for you want to go after the game, bud? Let's go have a couple.
Where are we going?
Where are we going, bud? Get yourself a Labatt Blue, boys. Moving on here. It's milk carton time at Missin Curfew. Sour grapes with Obes continues, and of course, it always comes back to my betting. I'm putting the shootout back on the milk carton. I've had enough of it. Get it fucking out of here. For example, the other night, I'm watching the Kings and Ducks. It's my lock of the night. The Kings are absolutely peppering the Ducks. They outshoot them 2-1, 44 to 22. Stoll stands on his head. Zegras doesn't do a fucking thing all night and then comes in for the shootout and does one of the nastiest moves ever to cost me my fucking bet. I'm just like, this kid, I just watched him. He didn't do anything all night. It's just, in all seriousness, it's costing teams so many points now, boys. I do think it's time that the NHL reconsiders it. And from a gambling perspective, it absolutely sucks. And then parlaying the shootout, the Blackhawks and Blues, they went to 10 or 11 shooters. The Blues got it done for me. But shooter 4 to shooter 7 or 8, the St. Louis Blues went in and did the same move, low blocker. And I'm sitting there yelling at the television, like, mix it up. Finally, Faster came in, backhand. I'm over the shootout, boys. I don't know if you want to tag it or not, but I've just seen enough of it. And for gambling, it sucks.
Well, what would you like to see? Would you like to see longer OT? Would you like to see...
I want to go back to ties.
You want to go back? Really?
I want to go back to a good old-fashioned tie. Good old-fashioned tie.
How do you bet that?
No, you still lose.
Yeah, that would suck.
You still lose.
Well, in soccer, you can bet the tie.
A
draw.
So it would give you the option to bet the tie then.
Yeah,
you'd have that option.
You don't look like much of a guy betting ties.
I bet ties in the Euro Cup one year and made a fucking pretty good night.
Right.
Or World Cup it might have been, yeah. I don't mind betting the tie in soccer.
I wonder what the line would be for a tie in hockey. Like fucking...
Pretty high.
Pretty high.
Pretty high, yeah. It'd be plus probably 400 or something.
But I feel like then you're not getting an exciting last 2 minutes of the game. Would you guys agree? Like if it was going to come down to a tie, it'd just be guys would just be playing for the tie.
Hey, Swish, yeah. But on the road, let's play for the tie, boys. Fucking right. Jay Swish, hey, fella, and we're gonna
get out of here.
We're gonna get into Four Nations here before we end the show. But in Four Nations, you get 3 points for a regulation win. That's something else I think the NHL should seriously consider. If you win in regulation, you get 3 points. Because so many games go to overtime, and as we get down the stretch, you may see teams open it up to try to get that extra point in regulation and get us away from the 3-on-3 fucking garbage.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Just go to the 3-2-1 system, like European hockey, where you 3 for regulation win, 2 for OT or shootout, and then 1, obviously, if you take it into overtime and or the shootout. I think that makes more sense. A tie, Obes, I mean, like it's like kissing your sister, bro. Like,
buddy, when I first played pro, we had ties, did we not?
Yeah.
We had ties when I first played pro. And then...
No, there would be overtime too, but it would be 5 minutes OT. Without it's a tie.
Yeah. I just used to hate, like, I play whatever, fucking 15 to 20 minutes. I don't get a shootout. We lose a shootout, and we come in the room, and everyone's mad. The coaches are mad we lost. I'm like, what the fuck you mean we lost? We just battled for 65 minutes to a good old-fashioned tie. And because Paul Stastny couldn't go in there with his wooden stick and fucking score, we lost the game. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't love that as a player, Jay Swish, either. Like, we got a point. Let's all be happy here. But when you lose the shootout, coaches come in, everyone's got their head down. It's like, fuck off. We lost a shootout.
Yeah, it shouldn't be make or break on how you feel emotionally after a shootout. I mean, it can go either way. It's like, especially the further they go down the line of 6-7 rounds. And at the same time, it shouldn't feel like that big of a win either just because you win the shootout. I'm with you there. Like, if you lose in a shootout or even in overtime, like, should be able to still go out, no?
Well, I still went out. I still went out. The shootout did not dictate if I was going out or
just whether or not he had time to change or whatever. Like He doesn't have time to go back, put on the black on black. He's going out in the suit.
Yeah, which I did many times. But what it did do is I would go out that night and then have to go in the next day, and technically we lost. So, when you go in the show the next day, the coaches are all, hey, were you drinking? Were you out? Yeah, I was out. Fuck, we lost the shootout. Of course I went out. I had nothing to do with the shootout. Of course I went out.
Yeah, we got a point. Come on.
We got a point.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, anytime you get a point on the road in the National League, you should come in the room and be somewhat happy. Like, not thrilled, but shouldn't be hanging your head because you lost in a shootout.
Oh, it's a good start, right?
Yeah, it's a good start.
Get a point. It's a good start.
Get him next time, boys. We'll get him next time, boys.
We'll be back here next year. Good.
Milk carton shootouts. I'm sick of them, boys. Sorry, boys. I'm crusty today. Kits Eye Care. Presented by Kits Eye Care. You've seen us and the fellas rocking them. Now it's time to get yourself into the game. Go to kits.com and grab a pair of progressive glasses starting at just $88. Use the code CURFEW to grab your pair today. You'll thank us later. Boys, it's the Kits Eye Care dish of the week. I'm going back to Sunday. The Capitals against the hockey club. The Caps come fighting back. It's 4-3. Goalie pulled. Ovi on the half wall. Everybody's thinking shot. Ovi throws on his Kits Eye Care, dusts it off, booyah, backdoor to Tom Wilson, standing in the blue paint. No one's touching Willie because they're all, don't want to fuck with him. Bangs it in. It was a great dish. Ovi's not just a shooter. He had his Kits Eyewear on, boys. Backdoor tap into Willie. They ended up losing in the shootout because of Nicky Schmaltz. Lost my bet. But what a pass by Ovi.
And again, bud, they got the point, so I'm sure they were having a couple pints.
Yeah. Well, they were ready to get out of town.
I mean, Ovi's going to, by the look of him, with the silver fox and the hair, and he's going to have some new hardware, NHL all-time leading goal scorer soon. He's going to need some glasses.
Yeah.
He's getting up there.
He probably has to put his glasses on to go through the fucking,
I'll tell you
through the roster and stuff.
When he doesn't need the glasses, Obes, is when he sees the empty net.
Fuck
is he been piling in pucks into that empty net?
Yeah, you have a hard time with the empty netter.
I do.
Yeah.
Like, is he going to get is he going to break the record with an empty netter? Can't.
So if you were the coach and Ovi's...
Oh, I love it. I love the fact that he's pumped in about 8 of them this year.
Would you not put him out there? You'd be like, hey, Ovi, sorry, buddy. I'm protecting Gretz here. You're not going for the end there. I have a seat right here. I have a fucking seat here, buddy. If you want to get one, you got to fucking earn it here, Jay Swift.
Maybe he just dishes a puck for the empty net instead of shooting it in the empty net all the time.
Oh, you take that because you never know, boys. You get hurt, whatever. You take that empty net. I was just thinking, it's a crazy thing to just kind of comprehend. Ovi's going to go down as the greatest goal scorer in the National Hockey League history and hockey history. And is it fair to say that he might not even be a top 5 player? Can you make that argument? Is he even Sid's a better player, boys, than Ovi all time, right? But Ovi's the greatest goal scorer, or will be soon. I was talking to my dad about
how many points does he have? He's
got a lot.
Yeah, he's got... Did he just get his 1,200th point? Hold on, let me check this out before I start throwing shit out.
I think he might have 1,300
And you're saying
points.
all-around player, like how Sid's playing
just
everywhere,
Is Alexander Ovechkin a Mount Rushmore player of the National Hockey League of all time?
He's caught almost 1,600 points, bud. Yeah, he is.
So are you...
Yes.
Are you putting him above?
I'm going Gretz. Gordy Howe. How many people can be up there?
4.
Shit.
No, they get 5. You have 5 guys in the Rushmore, right?
It's 4, isn't it?
Gretz.
They're going to put the bumper up there as a 5 here soon.
Gordy. Bobby Orr.
Mario.
Fucking Mario. And then Sid.
Sid. If you're gun to your head, Sid or Ovi.
Well, I'm going to say Sid.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, dude, I love Ovi's game, man. I mean, people ask me, who was the first guy you got on the ice with in the NHL and you didn't, you're like, that's, to me, Alex Ovechkin. When I would have, not that I got many shifts against either one of them, but early in my career, I actually did get lots of ice against both of them. I would have rather played Sid than Ovi when I was young in Tampa because with Sid, I could at least use my size against him. With Ovi, he had size, speed, and he could shoot it through you. To me, he was personally more of a tough. Yeah.
But I couldn't imagine him as a D-man facing him, but as a guy you had to go battle against, like in the corners, he's a beast. And he was like that from a very young age.
Who knows how old he is?
Gretzky or Crosby, Ovechkin, McDavid.
McDavid hasn't won a cup. You can't put him on there.
He's on there.
Wow.
He's too good.
No, you can't put him on there. In my opinion, it's your Mount Mark. You can put whoever you want, but until he wins one, you can't put. In my opinion, but I mean, I don't even have my 5. I don't know.
He gets the honorary up there because he just does things that no one else has done on the ice. Yeah.
So it's got to be 5 guys, right? So let me do my list here.
Gretzky or McDavid, Crosby.
Mario's numbers are unbelievable.
I know Mario's sick, and he battled cancer, and he's a legend. He's 3 cups, 2 cups. I mean, he's a legend.
All right, I got mine. I took Mario off mine too. I love Mario. I used to watch. I know. I love Mario. I love
723 points in 915 games. He got over 1,700 points in 915 games. That's crazy.
No, I know.
That's a different league, man.
So
It was a different league back then.
are you going to take Gordy? I got 99, Gordie Howe,
Gordy off.
Bobby Orr, Crosby, and Ovi. I don't know.
Gretz or Crosby, Lidstrom,
Lidstrom was nasty.
and
The real Rocket Talkit, he's nasty.
Bure.
Bure was sick too.
There it is. Gretzky or Crosby, Lidstrom, Bure. How's that?
I don't know if you.
I'm sure would you like to party with? I'm sure Pavel in his day was.
I would say no one ever had what you that one you just said. That's your own unique. I don't think anyone, if you asked them, they would have. But you have Bure and Lindstrom on there. That's cool.
Yeah, fucking.
Lindstrom was nasty, man.
Nasty.
Jay Swish never took a crossover, dude. Skated backwards and would just cut over, stick on puck, take it, DOD to Rafalski, up the ice. It was nasty, man.
Why did he never get hit? Because he wasn't that fast. Was it just a respect thing at times, boys? Like going into the corner with them, you're just like, I can't.
Just the strongest edges.
Buddy,
the strongest edges, the best stick. Like if he just poked you like this, you were like.
His gap control was fucking insane, man. Not all the guys, he would stay up, and then if you chipped it behind him, he'd be right with you. So then the weak side D would come pick up the puck. He was very smart. I don't know how many times he put himself in a situation to get run. Like he was that
right
ahead of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just throwing this out there, Jean Beliveau has 17 Stanley Cups, 10 as a player, 7 as a coach.
3 teams in the league.
How many darts in there too?
How many darts these
playing in Montreal?
How many darts these swung between periods of the old form? Johnny Beliveau. You want to throw Johnny Beliveau up there, Cons?
I'm not saying maybe Mount Rushmore, but 17 Stanley Cups, fuck.
That's a few months.
Johnny Low and Slow.
It's a tough question.
You
Swish.
look
It's a
at the
good
list
question.
of top 100 players, and it's literally, how do you pick? It's insane.
It's hard.
It's way too.
Yeah, that's why it was a great
Let me
question.
ask this because there's no goalies in here. But if you needed one goalie for a Game 7 or Olympic gold medal game ever, who would it be? Ever, like one game.
Patty Waugh.
Yeah, I'd say probably Patty Waugh too.
Yeah, Patty Waugh.
Eddie Wise.
Just because of his one comment about JR when there's like, oh, JR said your jock strap was in the rafters. You tell JR I couldn't hear him. I had both my Stanley Cup rings plugging my ear. And he's a savage too. But you could say
Binner.
Who would you go?
Maybe Binnington.
One game or Binner?
Binner.
One game.
I'd say fucking Carey Price, who I think is going to be in Montreal. I know never won one, but
Not his
team stunk. Yeah,
Not his fault.
he was nasty, and then a couple injuries.
Yeah.
He was nasty.
I'll tell you what, if John Cooper could have Carey Price in between the pipes right now, he'd take him.
Yeah.
He'd take him. That's for fucking sure. But boys, it's always great here. Last but not least, at Missin Curfew, we're heading to the Four Nations face-off. Updog, where can the fellas watch the Four Nations?
The Four Nation Face-Off, fellas, begins February 13th across ABC and ESPN. 4 teams of NHL players from the U.S., Canada, Finland, Sweden compete in a round-robin tournament. ESPN will present coverage for 3 games at the Bell Center in Montreal and the championship game at the TD Garden in Boston. Fellas, let's see you there, boys.
Can't wait, baby. Four Nations face-off preview here at Missin Curfew. Listen, we all know me and the Updog got Canada. Good Fort Mac boy, Port Up, Ontario. Good Wisconsin lad. You got USA hockey. Let's talk about the other 2 teams here. Let's talk on Sweden and Finland. I'll go first here, boys. I love the Finnish team. Listen, their back end, Jay Swiss, we talked about it. It ain't perfect. Miro Heiskanen being out, Hakanpää being out. Their back end is probably the thinnest out of all 4 teams. But what I like about the Finns, especially at plus 900 on DraftKings, look at this down the middle. Barkov, Sebastian Aho, Rope Hintz, and Anton Lundell. To me, that is as deep as it gets there. Maybe besides Canada and USA, but I would put them right there with them. Barkov can shut down anybody in the world, even 97. We saw it at times in the final. Aho and Rope Hintz are big bodies. Well, Hintz is a big body. I like this Finnish center group, boys, and I'm going to keep my eye on them, and I think they might upset some teams here moving forward.
I like it, Obes. In fact, if you look, I popped up a couple like tournament props, which we talked about a little earlier, but for Finland to go undefeated in the round robins, plus 3,500. That's not bad. Like, fuck, they sneak out one early one, and then all they got to do, it's 2 round robin games, right?
Three. You played 2 in Montreal, 1 in Boston.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, 3-0, but plus 3,500. I think there's going to be the one team that kind of comes in and, like, ruffles some feathers and find some greasy wins, and I think the Finns are greasy.
It's a good bet. Yeah, they are. If let's say Finns knock off the USA on Thursday night, now you're like, wow, okay, here we go.
Yeah, then they play
They got Sweden Saturday afternoon. They beat those boys, and then all you got to do is take care of Canada. I just, the back end swish is going to be a big concern for the Finns, but I'm with you. They're greasy and fucking, they play hard.
Yeah, and the way they play too, and Obi, you've obviously played in Finland, so did I, is they can kind of blanket that back end where they can sit back in a little bit of a trap, maybe play a 1-3-1, rely on goaltending, their center icemen to do a lot of the dirty work, especially coming out of their own end. And those guys are just soldiers. Like, they're going to find a way. They know they're the underdog of the tournament, but they're going to come in and embrace that. And it's just like how Finnish people are. Like, they're kind of quiet until they make a spark. And that spark is usually they get drunk. So if these guys know it can come in there and just kind of, get into this game against USA, maybe get a win and kind of get momentum off of that, who knows? I just know that the Finnish people, and especially how those guys work, it's such a team mindset, and just they're going to embrace that just kind of underdog like approach, and they're going to shock some people, especially if they steal one first game. It's going to be huge. I think it's going to dictate their whole tournament.
If they can get one in the first one or the second one, I know there's only 3 games, but if they can win that first one against USA and steal one, exactly, it's huge. Everything I've seen coming out of social media, though, is just how happy all these guys are to be there, right? Like, there's been some people chirping this tournament. It's 4 teams, but, like, it's been so long up, dog, that, like, everyone seems to be excited to be there. I think we're in for a real good treat. Me, personally, I think Sweden's the worst team. Now, you guys love their back end. I think their forward group, besides Willie Stiles, I think it's thin up front, but their back end is solid.
Yeah, I think Markstrom hurts them. Allmark's a good goalie. But their D, I mean, the Swedes have always found a way to just, play the right hockey. Look at international competition. They've got Olympic gold medals. They've been able to compete. That gold and blue jersey. I mean, and blue eyes, all the Swedes, nice ties, good suits. I mean, the boys rock it well. But I think in this, it's such a, you mentioned best on best. It's been such a long time that these guys coming in to mesh with them, how to become a team, how to figure out how to play with all these superstars again with only one puck. I think that's the secret, and that's why I think like the Finns are just, they're the junkyard dogs here, right? Like the guys that'll probably go out and find a way to grease it up and be in your face. And I look at the lines, like over 5.5 seems to be like the goal total for each game. I mean, some of these games you'd think they're high scoring, but there might be just this muck fest, like of teams just not finding any time on the ice, and not finding chemistry.
Everyone's so fast that it's just closed this time.
Not finding to play with 4 other guys on the ice that you're not used to. I mean, will it click? I guess that would be my question: is will it click?
Yeah. Speaking of clicking in one puck, here's a couple PP1 units for you from Canada and USA. PP1 Canada: Reinhart, McDavid, Crosby, McKinnon, Makar. How are you? USA PP1: Matty Tkachuk, Hughes, Matthews, Eichel, Fox. Which one's more lethal? I mean, they're both just deadly, right? Swish?
I mean, you got to give the nod, I think, to Canada, just because I just love the way Cale Makar can work that line. Every time he gets it outside the dots, he is able to gain the center of the ice, and that just opens up so much ice for his flanks. And you guys know how much McDavid loves that. When even Bouchard, when he's playing with the Oilers, gets that middle of the ice, he's able to gain the top of the key. McDavid can kind of set his feet where he comes up and he almost touches the blue line, gets going downhill. And that's when McDavid is so deadly, when he's coming down the ice and he's like, okay, he's got the bumper option, he's got the goal line, he got back to Bouchard, and Makar being a right shot just like Bouch up there. That power play is going to be deadly. I can't wait.
Who's standing in front? Who's standing in front? Who's standing?
Reinhart
standing in front. Good.
I just worry about McKinnon, who is this beast, like workhorse, stop, starts, fucking backwards, forwards, wherever. Like, it's McDavid's puck on the power play, right? And I think him and Draisaitl do such a good job of it being McDavid's. Now, McDavid's not used to that righty, like, being on that other half wall. I don't know, man.
Do you think McDavid is going to play, because he normally plays his forehand side because he can find Draisaitl for the 1T across the box. Do you think they're going to switch that where they play one-timer sides where McDavid is on his offhand so he can give that option to McKinnon across that seam?
I think it's going to be. I think McKinnon's going to play his one-timer spot, and Sid's going to play goal line, and it's going to be Sid. It'll be Sid or McDavid doing that cycle, fucking come down the pipe hard at you, and everything's going to open up.
I got it right here. 8, obviously up top. 97 on his forehand. McKinnon across the box on his one-timer, and then 87 down in the corner on the same side as 97, and 13 bumping in and out, getting that front. So it's all going to come through the same side of McDavid coming up like he does, right? Where he comes up and gets it. 87 there, 29 across, Reinhardt in the middle. You know what I mean? So when he comes up and gets it.
That wouldn't be a one-timer to McKinnon on the other side. He'd be a right shot.
Yeah, it would. No, Obi's saying that McDavid is on his offhand. So he's playing that.
He's on that side, yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
So you got McCarr, McKinnon for the one-timer, Crosby down low on the same side, and then Reinhardt pumping out.
Yeah.
So you can work it down to Sid.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful.
Oh, my God. I can't wait
to
to
the
watch
jerseys, boys. Do the jerseys look good in practice?
I tell you what, they got the fucking Tim Hortons logo on the helmet up, dog. I just think that's going to be the difference, is that Tim Hortons logo. The unis look great. USA looks great. Everyone looks great. And everyone seems to be. I mean, Charlie McAvoy said this is hockey heaven right now. So there you go.
That's well done.
Yeah, it's well said. And what makes it even better, boys, is we're going to be there. We are going to be there at the Bell Center. If you see us, come say what's up. I got a little jacket I'm pulling out for the little, good little luck for the Canadian boys. Swish, we'll make our bet when we get to Montreal. Up dog, safe travels. Hall Pass Media, thank you. Kyle Conway, Max Ice Pick Pickup. That was Missin Curfew. Fellas.